A couple of months ago, I decided to go on a horn fast. A horn fast. I have apparently been known upon occasion, in quite justifiable situations, I would add, to honk my horn at offending drivers. I used to think that was important, that they should be held accountable for their actions and at least rebuked for their poor road management. Now the problem is I have also been honked at, even when I've been driving in my usual roadworthy fashion. Indeed, it seems inevitable, and I've observed this, that usually within a day or two, or sometimes even a minute or two, of me honking my horn at some pathetic driver who has somehow managed to get a driver's license when it's clear to me and everyone else on the road they don't deserve one, that I end up committing a similar driving error, though there are usually mitigating circumstances that make it abundantly clear I do not deserve to be blamed, and they honk at me anyway. Nobody likes being honked at. Besides, you know what I've concluded? Honking doesn't help. Honking actually makes it worse. Honking does not produce the desired result. You see, the desired outcome is that we want people to drive better, right? We want them to learn the rules of the road. We want them to learn that cutting people off and not signaling is wrong, and that's why we honk. We're trying to improve them. And I've discovered that I will get better results praying for drivers than honking at them, because the honking stimulates anger and defensiveness. And that shouldn't surprise us, because judgment always does. Paul tells us that in this area we're to trust God to make things right. Leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord." So I've stopped honking because I now put my trust in God to punish bad drivers. They will get flat tires on their way home in rush hour. They will run out of gas late at night. They will get pulled over by the police and given tickets. And don't you pretend that you've never secretly wished this on a driver. Right? Somebody goes by us weaving in and out, and there's never a cop. There's never a cop there. And yet someday we're, speeding to help someone, and we get pulled over to the side. It's not fair. You see, we're happy to give the offender over to God and allow God to make things right, as long as God acts decisively and quickly and imposes what we determine is the appropriate penalty. And not just for bad drivers, but for all kinds of people who we believe are offenders because they've offended us in one way or another. And yet it's such a dangerous attitude. And it's dangerous because we've been explicitly warned by Jesus, again in that discomforting Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said, "For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. Honk ye not."